And welcome back to the weekly market recap where we go over this week's market while keeping it as simple as possible. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go straight into the market and look at the choppiness that we received this week. And then after that, we're going to be talking about the Fed meeting that happened on Wednesday that everybody was waiting to see what exactly Jerome Powell was going to say. And then finally, we're going to be talking about what to look forward in the market the coming week. So let's get straight into it. So first, we're going to jump straight into this chart of the S&P 500 to let us know what the top 500 companies are showing this week. And if you look at it, this week we had a very choppy market. And first, we'll go to Monday. So Monday was St. Patrick's Day, and I did let you guys know last week that usually St. Patrick's Day is one of the most greenest days of March, and it actually played off to be that exact way. And then after that, Tuesday, we sold off and gave away all those gains that we received on Monday, and everything was looking for that Fed chair meeting on Wednesday, and we actually did get a boost back in the market. And then on Thursday, we start going up and looked like we were going to pass Monday's all-time highs, and then we sold right back off going into Friday. And then at the very end of the day, Friday, the market bounced back up. So again, this week we had a very choppy market, and it shows that it's a lot of uncertainty in the market. And just like the stock market, the cryptocurrency market had the exact same tell. When going straight into this Bitcoin chart, you'll see exactly what I mean. So over the week, we did have a slightly down week, but if you look at this chart, you'll see that Bitcoin basically chopped all week long. So we see with all markets, everybody's still waiting to see, are we going to get that leg up in the market and bounce finally, or we're going to have another move down? So sometimes these type of weeks don't want to trade. You just want to sit back and see exactly what it shows. So this week, everybody was waiting to see what Jerome Powell had to say in regards to the market now and what was his forecast going forward. And you guys seen back from the S&P 500 on Wednesday for the Fed meeting, we did go up. But the thing is, we did not get super rosy news from Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell did have a lot of caution in the market. He did say that the chance of a recession is going up. But the good thing for that is he said that we are going to for sure get 2 rate cuts this year. And those 2 rate cuts gave the market certainty, which the market loves. So with the Fed seeing the recession is a possibility, they are willing to give us those rate cuts. As well, Jerome Powell did speak about the tariff wars, and he did say that all these tariffs that we have been receiving, it's a chance that inflation will go up. So that's a very key thing that he said. And he said a word, transitory, which was a huge word last year. So the main thing to watch for if inflation goes up and productivity and economic growth goes down, we could be going into a stagflation state. And stagflation is the worst thing that can happen to the market. If that does happen, the market could go down a lot. So make sure to hear out for words of stagflation going forward. So finally, let's talk about what to look for in the market next week. So again, the market is very indecisive. We don't know if we're going to get another leg down or we're finally going to get that bounce that the market needs. Well, the main thing to look forward to is inflation. So just like Jerome Powell said that inflation could be a big deal with the tariffs going up. Next Friday, we get very important economic data in PCE, which again is producers inflation gauge with inflation with companies, as well as personal income and personal spending. So those numbers will be very important to see again. We get that next leg down in the market or we finally get that bounce. So with a lot of uncertainty in the market, sometimes it's better just to take a step back, relax, and see what pieces of data that we do receive to make that next move. Again, this is the weekly market recap, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.